Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today? Okay, without any delay, let's start with analysis of NQ. Okay, so what do we have here today? We have currently swept previous day's low and we are trying to move up higher. So previous day's high is going to be 3555.75 and previous day's low is going to be 30009.25. Okay, so this is previous day's low, this is previous day's high. Move to a 4-hour time frame. What do we have here? We have, if candle closes above this, we will have a structure change. There is a 4-hour fair value gap which was already tapped, but I will still leave it here. Okay, no fair value gaps in here. There's only one small fair value gap all the way at the top, which is also a small BPR. It's also a small balance price range at this level. We also have another small BPR right here. These are very small gaps, but we'll still mark them. Okay, here the BPRs marked right here. So what happened? What's this? This fair value gap, which we were looking for yesterday, which was taking support, has now been inversed and it has become a bearish inverse fair value gap. Now watch what happened. Red candle, liquidity sweep with speed and V-shaped rejection. The only thing that I'm concerned of is the way it came down. It took a lot of time. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 28 hours to inverse this fair value gap. This is generally not a good sign of reversal. So let's see what's happening on 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, we have liquidity sweep on the downside. We have V-shaped rejection. You're not getting V-shape. Yeah, we did got an IFVG, but it's not a V-shape, and so I'm not that worried of this. But it did take out this high. Let's move to 15-minute time frame. There's nothing much interesting on 1-hour time frame. Let's move to a 15-minute time frame. Now this is buy side liquidity, Asia session high. We got a candle closing above, but this is not exactly the way I want to see. I want to see a good candle close like this, not just by some ticks. So I'll still get this. Now it's going to be this buy side liquidity up there. Still have this 15-minute fair value gap. It got inversed, but trying to claim this thing back. Okay, London session low has double bottom, almost double bottom, so that's a good drawn liquidity as well. Okay, I'm gonna say one thing. Watch this thing. This is previous day's low. This low is previous day's low. When price came down yesterday during London session, it reversed from here. Watch this. It reversed from here. Now when this thing happened, it generally, the next drawn liquidity will be previous day's high. So this is one context for us today. We also see the structure being bullish, but there's a fair value gap, there's this order block as well. So one of the contexts for today is going to be um, price taking out previous day's high at 35.55 and closing higher. Okay, we have got London session low. We have marked because this got taken out and was just candle just closed some ticks above it. I'm going to mark this as buy side liquidity. Okay, what is the high of that candle is 319.75. Yeah, that's exact. Okay, now let's move to 1 minute time frame. Let's move to 1 minute time frame. Let's see what's happening. Again, the same thing, wicks are in here. So now we just need to wait until it takes out this liquidity, or it gives us a good value gap to trade into. 7 minutes into its trading session, price is not moving that good. It has a lot of wicks. Look at the volume. Buying got picked up in this candle. Buying volume is increasing. My bias for today is bullish. I'm looking for previous day's high as draw on liquidity. Simple reason is price 15-minute candles closed down below previous day's low and give us a good V-shaped structure, like not V-shaped structure, but give us a good reversal. Now we got an SMT here, we got a fair value gap, we got break order block as well. Price tapped into that, went on to move higher. So now for me the drawn liquidity will be a little higher, previous day's high. But that is just one context that I have in my mind. That's not necessarily it is not necessary that we are going to trade only bullish side. Depending on what market presents us, we are going to look for trades like that. We got non-farm payroll data, like let me see. We had non-farm payroll data. I guess they just added 57k. Actual data came at 57k, forecast was 132k, and previous was 172k, which means hiring slowed down in June. Okay, simply means if hiring slows down, which means economy might have slowed down, which is not good for market. That's how I see things. I can be wrong. I don't understand that kind of things pretty like a pro. I can show things on charts, but those are some fundamental things that I'm still not much what's the word for that? Yeah, that's okay. Watch this thing again. Watch the CVD. It is fluctuating between positive and negative. It is going down, all the way down, and then getting dragged back towards zero, which means bulls are still buying. Bears are trying to push the price down, but bulls are still in there, trying to take the trying to buy a lot, trying to take price higher. Okay. 15-minute structure is bullish. We have a 15-minute fair value gap. We also have a 15-minute order block right here. Bullish order block right here. Price is doing the same thing. So we're gonna wait today. Wait for 15 minutes to give us a good level of interest. Yeah, there is an inverse fair value gap here, but structure is pretty bullish. Basically, when I see this kind of inversion, I want to see it happening above this high, above the swing highs here, not in between the legs. Like, I want to see this liquidity sweep, V-shaped rejection above the swing high, not somewhere in middle like this. So my view for today is going to be bullish based on the structure, based on how previous day's low was swept and price rejected from previous day's low. We also have some news at 10 a.m. It says US factory orders month on month. So let's see. Let that thing pass and we'll look for a trade after that. For 13 minutes, price has been just chopping around. So for us to enter into any kind of trade, we need three things. First is level of interest. Second is signal on that level of interest. And third, CVD. Third, which is optional, but at majority of the time it gives me a good idea, which is CVD. CVD is just cumulative volume delta. It gives me a good indication if the signal is going to be strong or not. Yesterday I showed two examples during live market, like how CVD is going to support our signals. The trade when we enter, I told you that the three consecutive red candles that follow three consecutive green candles is going to be a good liquidity sweep and V-shape rejection signal. The same thing happened when we got a bullish signal at this SMT, not here. This is Asia signal, and this came here. See this. When we got this liquidity sweep and V-shaped rejection, what's the volume? Even just here, by the time it came up here, it just inversed. There was a lot of buying volume that came into this, so that gives us a good indication that prices like buyers are stepping in. You don't need to continuously watch CVD. In order to make any context. But if we have level of interest, first thing, we have level of interest, and if we are expecting a signal at that level of interest, then we open up CVD, see if that signal will be strong or not. So the first 15 minute has been printed. No proper direction as of right now. It's still chopping around. There's wick from high side and low side as well. Generally, I've seen like this is 8:30 market price opening and truly open. This becomes a strong area. I don't know how that works, but I've noticed that this becomes a strong area of rejection or support. And you can see how price is continuously rejecting. It broke out, but then when it came down, it is continuously rejecting in that particular zone. What this? This is not something I trade. It's just an observation. It's just an observation. Just something to keep in mind that price can pull back from that area. All the observations that I keep on saying, like SMTs, this opening price at like 2-day open and 8:30 price opening. These are just observation. I don't trade them. I just keep those things in mind. I before entering into any trade, what we need is level of interest, signal on that level of interest, and supporting CVD. Without that, there's no reason for us to enter into any trade. Okay. So our challenge status is we have three winners and three break evens. As I told you, why my bias is bullish, because what previous day is low, when 15-minute candle closes below previous day is low and it rejects from there. Look at this. This is a good V-shaped rejection. This is a good V-shaped rejection. Mine was V-shaped. Yeah, these red candles are not the ones that we were expecting, but then it created an SMT. It did not take out the low. When it created SMT, then it went down higher. Watch this fair value gap confluence with this order block. Watch this level getting tapped and price rallied on from here. So this is just V-shaped rejection from previous day's low. Generally, when this happens, the other drawn liquidity is always and always previous day's high, which is at 555.75. So I'm looking for longs. There could be, as of right now, I do not have any reason to enter into any trade, because yes, there is this 15-minute fair value gap, but watch, it has already closed below this, so this could be weak. And so I'm waiting for this leg. I want to see price close above this, above higher here, leave a fair value gap behind somewhere, and then give us an entry signal into those fair value gaps or this order block. For buyers have stepped in, you can see price was 50k into negative zone, now it is 76k in positive, which is approximately 125k of buying volume. 125k of buying volume that came in, which means buyers are stepping in. Bats are stepping in. It is CVD is supporting our context right now. It can change at any moment, that's the other thing, but as of right now it is supporting our context. That is what we have observed. Now what we are waiting for is we are waiting for price to print as a good level of interest. It could be 15-minute fair value gap or 15-minute order block. Breakup block formation is not possible here. I don't even see any IFPG formation, so that's also out of option. Again, anybody trading this, watch this part. So this SMT, V-shape rejection, FEG, IFEG, there's a BPR, but there's a BPR here as well. But what this for value gap, anybody could have entered long at this position. Real stop loss would always be below the low, but if just this would also be great. Now this should be heading towards this high. This is also one kind of trade, but we do not trade in the first 15 minutes. Also, this is not the strongest signal that you're looking for. This is not the cleanest trade, as this 15-minute fair value gap has already been inversed once. There are a couple of things that are worrying me for to be long is this double bottom or SMT here, this SMT here as well. But my context for today is bullish. Once you start looking at price with this ICD concepts, you will realize that how frequently this comes to be true. What there's this order block here as well. It is just tapping into this. It tapped this for value gap, went on to move higher. Once you get into the flow, you will start reading every single move like this. SMT, V-shape rejection, fair value gap, because there was also BPR. Is this gap as well? Now it is trading about this. We almost got a V-shape reaction out of it, but still did not close below this fair value gap. You're not looking for shorts, it doesn't matter. As of right now, there is no level of interest for shorts. So I'm gonna take out this bearish inverse fair value gap. Price was already traded above that. We tapped into this inverse fair value gap. We have a news at 10. It could move the market. That's alright. There's nothing happening on with price. Still have to move out of this leg in order to in order for us to get a level of interest. Move to 5 minute time frame. Yes, there is this order block. Yeah. When we get SMTs on this on price, when we get SMTs on price, this yes, for a while it seems pretty bullish and it might take out the highs and everything, but this leaves liquidity behind. This becomes magnet later on. Like yesterday when I was saying the same thing during live market. What this thing? It did not sweep liquidity here, right? It did not sweep liquidity right here as well. Now watch what happens later on. It gave its target, and then later on during New York PM session it came down and took down both the lows. So this is what generally happens with SMT. That's why I don't like them. This can become a drawn liquidity, and when will that become a drawn liquidity is unsure. So when it leaves liquidity behind, so when it leaves this kind of SMT and liquidity behind, that becomes a drawn liquidity, and that is not something I'm very fond of. Now that leaves a threat here for longs. Now watch this. Liquidity sweep, V-shaped rejection, order block. Now it is moving up higher. 15-minute candle has closed pretty strong on the higher side, which is if somebody is trading orb, like first 15-minute opening range, first and high and low. Look at this breakout. Then we got a good signal or continuation signal on longs, like liquidity sweep, V-shaped rejection, and then moved on higher. Now watch this. There is now this order block here as well, for which could move price a little higher as well. These are small things, but like some things to notice. Like this should be supporting the price. If it is not, then you might see price coming down a bit. As of right now, we are looking for longs. You're looking for longs, but let's say if leaves a fair value gap behind, gives us a good entry into that. Volume is still good. Almost no wick candle. This could become a drawn liquidity. Now we have a liquidity sweep, V-shaped rejection. We need to see the price closing below that, but this is not the trade we are entering. We do not have any level of interest as of right now. Yes, there is a 4-hour bearish inverse for value gap right here, but it has already been tapped. We want to see a good clean movement. If some level getting tapped multiple times, that for me is not a strong level or clean trade setup. Now this becomes an order block, but what this thing? It has fair value gap here as well. Liquidity sweep, V-shape rejection, fair value gap here, fair value gap up here. Okay, let me just turn this thing on. Yeah, what this? Was CVD supporting the signal? Yeah, there was a lot of volume that came in this signal. But this, even after a lot of volume that came down, Price did not take down this low. It simply means someone is still buying up here. Well, there are chances of it price coming down. There's this SMT drawn liquidity. There's this SMT drawn liquidity. We got an inversion, and when it went for pullback, it went up higher. But this is not the cleanest entries that we can take. This will be just based on assumption. There's no level of interest for me here. So as of right now, this fair value gap has been inversed. So I'm not going to keep it here. Let's keep the chart clean. Let's wait for price. Give us good signals. On 5 minutes, we have an order block right here. But we do not trade on 5-minute time frame or 5-minute level of interest. We trade only on 15-minute level of interest. What this candle without wick will become a drawn liquidity. Yeah, this can be called as liquidity sweep chip rejection, but there's no level of interest for us. It has to move out of this swing high and this swing low before, like, until then we just have to wait, because we don't know what price can do in between these two levels, and this is 310 points of level. We have to wait. We are already up 128 points yesterday, and for this week 128 points up a week. Why do we need to risk it? Also, we have a short week. Tomorrow is going to be a holiday because of July 4th. That is the reason why we had non-farm payroll today. Generally it's on Friday. Fair value gap, IFEG, FEG, BPR, but no direction, no level of interest. Yeah, price is moving good, but it is not giving us any good level of interest. Like this, with this. And yeah, it is. I believe it is trapping a lot. Look at this IFEG, and there is no continuation. Look at this IFEG, there was no proper continuation. It did go 50 points in of higher, but then it came down and took the stop loss before delivering this high. So means buyers are there, but they're weak. Okay, so there is not going to be any fair value gap here. So that level of interest has been taken out. As I was saying, what this candle without any wick will become a drawn liquidity, and price came out, took out that high. What this candle? There's no what this candle? There's no wick here. So now what is price doing? Coming out and trying to take out this week, this year. Do we trade that? No. Do we keep that in mind? Yes. The reason why we should not be taking this signal is also because of this. Because price wants to come down till here. Why would you buy up here at 221, which is 70 points up higher? Price could come down here. This is one of the drawn liquidity, major drawn liquidity. Once you spend time into this live market, you will notice a lot of things. There are a lot of signals that works, how to use them, in your favor, and how to form a context. I'm looking for previous day's high, but there are major issues. 4 hour fair value gap has been inversed. It left here, like there is a drawn liquidity at London session low. This is still open. With this SMT, which is double bottom, which is a good drawn liquidity. A lot of things are open here. A lot of possibilities are open for both sides. What we want to see is clean trend. Like yesterday when we got a 1 hour for 1 hour fair value gap, We got the signal onto that, we got CVD onto that, and we took the trade. No confusion at all. Price was in downtrend. And that was the first step of the fair value gap. Watch this thing. CVD came back to zero again. Price is just fluctuating from negative to positive to negative to positive. When this thing happens, it's generally not a good time to trade. And this is also one of the reason, like this signal failed. Also one of the reason why, yeah, CVD was strong, signal was strong, but there was no level of interest. Level of interest was missing for it to continue. So you guys have to keep this thing in mind. Yeah, if you would have taken 5 minute time frame, you could have seen this order block. Oh, that's a perfect perfect trade. But no, that's not how we trade. We trade on 15 minute time frame and 1 minute time frame. Our strategy works best on that time frame. Also, the price is still between previous prices, still between swing high and swing low. It has not broken out of that swing high or swing low. I told you guys before, this kind of SMT, the big wicks SMTs could be a drawn liquidity, and you never know from where it will reverse. Could reverse from here. I was expecting it to reverse from higher. I'm happy to wait. There's no reason for me to initiate any kind of trade. I'm happy to wait. Imagine you take a trade just based on this signal here, like based on this IFPG here. You're taking a long. That's a loss of 94 points, 95 points. Okay, And what did we make yesterday? 128 points. So 95 points out of 128, so it's somewhere around 35 points, 33 points. So right now you would be up only 33 points. So that's why if that's why it is necessary to save your money. Wait until you get everything as per your setup. If not, then we can just wait. Why do you want to risk the profits that you already made for this week? 128 points, 1 NQ would be around 2000, 2400, and almost 2000, close to 2600 on one single NQ. If I am in Qs, that would be on 1280 bucks. 1280 bucks in what? 7 20 30 minutes, without doing a lot of, like, without doing any kind of hard work. 1300 bucks in like half an hour or hour. But what the amount of effort we put in, like we waited on Monday, we waited on Tuesday, then we got the trade on Wednesday. So those 3 days came into that play. The patience is what paid. The patience is what paid. Not just that a signal, the patience that you display for those 2 days is the thing that is the reason why you're up 1200 or 1300 bucks or 130 points. 130 points or 1200 bucks on one account. You have that 5 account, so that would be around 6000 bucks. So this is the game. This is how trading actually works. You have to be patient. You have to wait for the perfect opportunity. You don't necessarily have to display all the all the expertise, like you know about this thing. Like you know that this fair value gap has been inversed, and you should be taking longs here. No, patience is what pays. Once you'll understand that thing, you will consistently make money, or you'll consistently take money out of the market. If you consistently if you consistently take all the signals here, like this IFPG, yes, for a while you'll make money. But look at this. Look at this. It did not reach your target. Yes, it went 150, 160 points. But where will you go, or where will you take the profit? 80, 90 points. Same signal that came in here, it took your 90 points. So at the end of the day, you're up nothing. So it is not about how much you know of the market. It is all about how much disciplined you are, how much patient you are, how how long you wait for the setup. Yeah, sometimes it will be easy. Like yesterday, it was pretty easy. We had 1 hour fair value gap. We got the signal. We got the supporting CVD as well. So yeah, that was easy. But that's not going to be the case every single day. This is the signal that I noticed. On any given day, if this liquidity had been swept before we got the signal, then I would have taken short. I would have taken short here, because that is what we were expecting. We had marked this buy side liquidity up higher here. That is what we were waiting. We were waiting that Asia session high will be taken out, and then it will be heading towards Asia session low, which it came down to. But unfortunately, price did not take this buy side liquidity and just came down from here. I did notice the signal, but I would not take a trade based on expecting an SMT. Once you start expecting that, oh, this is going to form, no, that will this could form, now that will cause you to see a lot of trades which are not there. And since the beginning of the stream, yes, my bias was bullish, but we were waiting for a level of interest. Why did we not take longs here? We saw that this fair value gap was inverse, which means it's weak. Why would we take long when this fair value gap has already been inversed? If buyers were that strong or that eager to buy, they would have just bought it from this level 30 127. Why would they wait all the way down? Why would they let price go 100 points lower? What do we have now? Price made a swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, which is high, low, lower high, and lower low. On a 15-minute time frame, now price has dipped down and went into downtrend. You can see this here. So what do we do here now? We can just wait. We can just wait. Now that the price closed below this will become as a bearish order block. This will become a bearish order block. So now this becomes a level of interest for us. Now if price comes to this level and gives us a good signal like this, good strong signal like this, with supporting CVD, we will look to take short. So watch the volume. It went 100 and almost. Yeah, it's 105k, went to 96k, so 200k of selling volume came in. This is pretty bearish. Generally, is pretty bearish. Yes. Like overall volume is only 180k negative, but look at this selling 200k in selling volume. Whenever I've seen this kind of day, price has flushed down hard. Hopefully it can give us hopefully it can give us this entry here with good signal. If we get that, we'll take the trade. If not, then it's okay. We'll wait for another opportunity. Be careful with this. Be careful with this. If price closes above this and we get a V-shaped recovery, I am not looking for shorts. I will not be looking for shorts. Yeah, the drawn liquidity is still there. London session low. CVD is heavily bearish. CVD is heavily bearish, but what I want to see is a good clean tap, a good signal. Now it's just this fair value gap. What we will not get here will be the signal. The signal that we are talking about is liquidity V-shaped rejection. I'm not taking any trade directly into any fair value gap, but with this heavy bearish volume, a single, like any normal fair value gap, works. We have seen 15-1600 point of flush down when when volume goes heavy bearish, like 200 to 50k bearish. Price just starts flushing down, and a normal fair value gap starts working out as a strong resistance. Also, NFP data came in. Job, they've added just 57,000 jobs, and expectations were like 113k, which is just like half of expectation. I'm not pretty I do not have a lot of knowledge about that, but that tells me that I think economy has slowed down a bit, which is bearish for market. which is bearish for market. Yeah. Okay, for CVD, just go to indicators, type in CVD, you will see this cumulative volume delta. Just click on that and you will see the CVD down here. Yeah, we got the signal on 32nd, liquidity sweep with speed, V-shaped rejection, but for for us we trade with 15-minute time frame and 1-minute time frame. Watch what is happening here. Oh, okay. What is 15-minute candle? There's no almost no wick here. It becomes a magnet for price to pull back to. Watch what is happening here. There is this bearish order block, and if candle closes somewhere below, it will be a bearish order block plus fair value gap. If this happens, yeah, I might need to check all the levels that are below here. Okay, after this we only have, okay, levels are way lower now. Now watch the CVD here again. Price came down, took out the low, volume did not, which is not a good indication for bearish continuation. And as we can see, price is coming down into this negative volume, then getting bought up, goes up higher, same thing continues. This is the trend for the trend for today. When I said that it went into 200k negative, that was just an observation, and as you know, we do not trade based on observation. We only trade based on our setup, which is we need a level of interest, which is right now is the bearish order block, and then we need a good signal on that bearish order block for a continuation trend downside. There's also one thing that I'm noticing is that it took down this low, this low, this low, multiple lows. It took down multiple lows. Could be bearish, like strong bearish. That is the reason why I'm leaning bearish. Just be patient. We will get a good trade today. Market is moving pretty clean. 15-minute candles. Look at the 15-minute candles. It is moving pretty clean. There is no liquidity sweep here, hence this is not something where I'm entering on this IFPG. If you if you go to this time frame, 30-second time frame, yes, there is this IFPG. We got a retest onto that IFPG. It could form something like this, but for continuation lower, but not something we trade. We do not take trades on 30-second time frame. I would love to see this fair value gap getting set up, and now that it has not tapped into this bearish order block right now, if next four minutes stays here, we get to see a good tap. It will take out the liquidities up here. It will tap into this bearish order block and fair value gap that would have formed. If we get a good signal from there on, we'll get a good continuation for lower side. Okay, we may, like, this is what we are expecting, but we may or we may not get to see that, because generally, like, this is also a bearish signal. Price might continue to move down from here without giving us an entry. With this, three consecutive green candles, and against which we got three consecutive red candles on CVD. Could move lower, but as of right now, we do not have any level of interest and no signal. We do not purely trade based on CVD. CVD is just something that supports our view. See, once you notice these things, you when like if you were in a trade up here and you're still holding the trade, and this gives a good confirmation that price is going to go a little lower. Watching this CVD, watching this IFEGs, watching this fair value gap as well. Watch the volume. Volume went from 100k positive to 100k negative. That is 200k. And whenever we have seen this thing 200k, we got a good flush down. So anybody holding shorts would be in a good position as of right now, but we still did not get to see any entry. London session low has been tapped, but I'm not looking for any longs here. The clear reason is it has taken down multiple lows in one leg. This is pretty bearish for me. CVD is supporting bearish, and it might continue to move lower. $220k in negative. Hopefully, hopefully it gives us an entry at a good level. I'm not expecting price to pull back all the way till here now. There's no way. If price pulls back 200 points in next 15 minutes, it's not going to be a good signal for bears. So this bearish order block right now is now done. Yet again, watch this. The same thing I was telling since the morning. Like, this is SMT, London session low, will become a good draw on liquidity, and it did. Price came down all the way till here. 500 points. Price has tapped into this fair value gap. We got a good closing below London session low. There are multiple FVGs here. Means one FVG, one IFVG is not going to be a good signal for longs. Even if it inverses this FVG, it has this bigger one, which aligns with this order block here as well. So this level around here, this level around here will become a strong resistance. At any point, price is not taking out any bearish fair value gap. It is just tapping into this, going down lower. So you need to be patient. There is no level of interest as of right now. Yes, prices closed below London session low. Longs can be open up here. Longs can be open here, but looking at that 500 points candle downside, it will be like catching a falling knife. I don't want to be the first buyer. I'd rather wait. Still have upside for of 500 points. So we will wait. So this is no good sign for buyers right now. What this candle. The reason why I would not take longs on this IFVG is as simple as I told you. Price is heavily bearish and it will be like catching a falling knife. I don't want to be the first buyer here. I want to wait. Want to see a liquidity sweep and then V-shape rejection. I would not be holding shorts here. This one IFVG got inverse. Generally when this happens, the low gets taken out and the high gets taken out again. And most probably this high will also get taken out. So I will not be holding shorts here right now. But as of right now, we are not entering any trade. We still have to wait for the level of interest. If we don't have level of interest, we are not looking for any signals. Once we have the level of interest, we will look for signals and then supporting CVD for that.
Do you hear that? My sanity about to break while everyone I know's out. On a trip, on a boat, on a lake. I'm tired of feeling all FOMO, babe. I don't even care if we stay home. Put our to-do list on ice. Crank the AC to 79 and make a little island right here. And there ain't a palm tree in sight, but there's not a cloud in your blue eyes. If we need a drink, I'll be the bartender. I got a fifth of Patron and a blender, baby.
So I was talking all like from a long time, but unfortunately my mic was on mute. So I did not take any trade as of right now. I did mark this trade. I wanted to see this level getting taken out, and we wanted to see IFPG from there, but we did not get that thing, and we are not in any trade as of right now. We do not have any level of interest as of right now. We got a good candle closing below London session low. What this thing? Fairly gap aligning with this bearish order block could become a good trade. The risk is too much. 75, 77 points. TPA says 1 is to 2, but yeah. But this is not the trade I'm taking. I need a level of interest for us to enter into any trade. If there is no level of interest, I'm not going to take any trade. I'm just marking this level of interest and this level, which can act as a strong resistance as we have an order block and a fair value gap overlapping each other. As I said, anybody entering this level would have got 100 points. This goes 75 points, which is not what I like to see. But this candle here as well, it does not have, like, it has very low to none wick here. It becomes a good draw on liquidity. I'm also watching the volume. Price came, price retraced 80, 70, 80%, but price volume retraced only 50%. I'm watching these things as well. I'm not entering into any trade. I need a level of interest to do that. There is no level of interest for me as of right now. If if we have to think, if we have to think, or if we have to decide the bias by giving some efforts in thinking, then that is probably not the best time to trade. The best trades will be so obvious that you'll see it, that you'll see it like without any efforts, like the one we took yesterday. We did not take much effort. We just noticed that 1 hour fair value gap formed. We got the signal onto that supporting CVD, and then we entered that trade. Right now, price is bearish, but it is not giving us any retest onto any level of interest that we are looking for. What is the low of this candle? 638. What is the low of this candle? 638.75, 638.50. So yeah, it still didn't take out the low. And there you go. These are some small scalp trades that I can see, but these are not the ones that I'm taking. Simple reason is we need a level of interest. I did not have any level of interest. Yes, there was a bearish order block right here, but when price tapped into this level, when we do not have any level of interest, I prefer not to enter into any trade. Almost 2 hours. We did not get the setup that we are looking for. We always look for. We look for level of interest. We look for signal on that level of interest and supporting CVD. We got signals today. We got supporting CVDs today, but we did not get any level of interest. Now that's a good V-shaped recovery, but risk is like 100 points. What CVD? Prices closed low London session low. I'm happy to wait. I'm happy to wait. Tomorrow is holiday. I'm happy to wait till Monday. But if I don't get the setup that I'm looking for, I'm not taking any trades. We do not have any level of interest. Like, yeah, I can mark this order block for bearishness right now. I'm gonna wait. I'm still gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for liquidity sweep. Now what's this candle? With this candle, there was no wick. Price came down, took that low. Look at this candle. Price could become a draw on liquidity. Yeah, 2 hours into this, because I don't see any like price did tap into this level of interest right now. I don't see any liquidity sweep right now. We might get a liquidity sweep right here, V-shape rejection out of it, but I'm not much happy with this formation. There are a lot of buy side liquidity here that could be taken out first. I know it's annoying, price is moving a lot, but we are not taking any trade. Liquidity sweep, we got V-shape rejection, we have order block right here, but would something be like this? 59 points of stop for the first TP of 75 points. Not a big fan of this kind of trade. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna take this trade. Hmm. Yeah, CVD is turning a little bullish. So what do we have now? So structure change. Yeah, there is no level of interest for me as of right now. Yes, there was a bearish order block. There was a bearish order block, but I did not get, like, this is not a great signal. As I was explaining this earlier, if it is between, if we get the signal between a swing high and swing low without taking any liquidity, that is not a great signal for me. I was explaining the same thing early in the morning right here. So that's why I did not enter into this trade, and glad we did not, because we would have stopped out and given away 60 points. Okay. So we have a 15-minute fair value gap right here, where it can take this liquidity here, and if we get to see a good signal on the downside, we'll look to short. But I'm gonna be careful. CVD is pretty fluctuating. It is pretty confusing today. Both parties are in there, so there are chances that signals can fail today. It's high risk rate. There were signals like this IFEG, this IFEG tapping into this IFEG, or this IFEG here, but we did not take any of them because of we did not have level of interest. We do not want to do FOMO. That's okay. If we have to wait till Monday, that's okay. Do we have any news? US forex sell auction high yield. Nothing for us. I believe this price action is similar to Monday, when price gave us a good fall straight downside, and then it reversed all the way back. What's this thing now? Yes, there's a lot of volume, but what's this thing now? Took out this high with all the green candles. If we get to see this IFEG, we potentially might look for short here. 50 points of risk. For TP below 100 here. But for that we need to see this IFEG. If not, then there is no trade. Something to look for is what this value gap. It is aligning with one of the order blocks. Hence, could act as a strong support zone, but if that would be reversed, we'll be looking to short. We don't want to see any green candles before it inverses this candle. This is not a clean IFVG. Even if it closes below this fair value gap, it is not a good and clean IFVG. Well, yeah, there is this bearish order block still here, but this bearish order block will still be here until the high of this green candle doji will be taken out. Something like this. There is no liquidity sweep, and this is the reason why I'm not looking much into entering into this trade. If there was this liquidity sweep of high, then I would have looked to enter shorts here, but until then, no. Yeah, 2 hours and 15 minutes, no trade. Did not find any good setup. I did see this one. I did see this one. This target would have been hit, but not a good level of interest. So where we are trading right now is this bullish order blocks right here. Break out of this, retap into this, but 15 minute we do not have anything. 15 minute is bearish, still bearish. It has taken down multiple lows, and looking for longs is not a good idea. Okay, guys, I don't see any setup formation right now. I don't even see good signals. We are heading into lunch in 10 minutes. I don't. Everything. We did not take any trade today. Market moved a lot. We did see some opportunities like this. There was short opportunity here, but that is just based on 1 minute level of interest, not 15 minute. Hence, we did not take into any trade. I think that's it for me today. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, sorry. See you guys on Monday because tomorrow is market holiday. Will not be trading tomorrow. Okay. Have a good week. Have a good day and have a good weekend.